know what rare looks like? You don't. We're not talking about animals that are hard to find. We're talking about creatures so close to gone that some of them exist in numbers you can count on your fingers. No exaggeration. Today, we're counting down the 10 rarest animals alive on this planet right now, and some of them might already be past saving. Stay with me. Number 10, African forest elephant. We start with something massive, literally. The African forest elephant lives deep in the rainforests of Central and West Africa. And unlike its savanna cousin, most people have never even seen one. Why? Because the forest swallows them whole. They're quieter, smaller, darker, and they're disappearing. Poachers go after their ivory. Loggers tear down their home. And here's the brutal part. They reproduce slowly. Painfully slowly, so every elephant lost takes years to replace. They are ecosystem engineers. They knock down trees, scatter seeds, punch holes in the canopy so light gets through, lose the forest elephant, and the forest starts dying too. Number 9, red wolf. Picture a wolf, but leaner, more angular, a reddish coat that almost looks like it's on fire. That's the red wolf. And as of early 2025, there are only 17 to 19 of them left in the wild. All of them in one small patch of North Carolina. One wildlife refuge. That's it, the entire wild population of an entire species. In one corner of one state. They were declared extinct in the wild once before, brought back through captive breeding. And they're hanging on by a thread again. One bad storm, one disease outbreak, and the math gets terrifying. Number 8, Sumatran orangutan. These ones are harder to watch disappear because they watch you back. The Sumatran orangutan is eerily human. The way they think, the way they move, the way they hold their young. It cuts deep. Around 14,000 remain. But that number drops every year. Deforestation is the engine of their extinction. Palm oil plantations, logging, illegal fires eating through Sumatra's jungles. These animals don't just live in forests. They are the forest. Remove them and the whole system collapses around them. Number 7, Cross River gorilla. The rarest great ape on the planet. There are fewer than 300 Cross River gorillas left, scattered across remote mountain forests on the border of Nigeria and Cameroon. They're so elusive that most of what we know about them comes from camera traps and droppings, because they flee the moment they sense humans. And you can't blame them. They've been hunted for bushmeat. Their forests have been carved up. Disease has torn through their groups. Ironically, the very thing keeping them alive is how hard they are to find. Number 6, Saola. Here's where it gets strange. The Saola is called the Asian unicorn, not because it has one horn, but because almost no one has ever seen it. Scientists discovered this animal in 1992, and since then it has almost never been photographed in the wild. It lives in the Annamite Mountains between Vietnam and Laos, and it may number in the single digits. Single digits. We know it exists. We have photographs, camera trap footage, local reports. But the actual number, unknown. And that uncertainty might be the scariest part of this entire list. Number 5, Hainan gibbon. The world's rarest primate, and most people have never heard its name. The Hainan gibbon lives only on Hainan Island in China, inside 2 small patches of forest, fewer than 40 individuals. 40. They communicate through haunting, echoing calls that carry through the jungle at dawn. And every year, researchers count those calls just to know they're still there. Deforestation wiped out over 95% of their habitat, and with so few left, even a single disease event or a bad breeding season could erase them. Number 4, Amur leopard. The most endangered big cat alive, and somehow the most breathtaking. The Amur leopard moves through the Russian Far East like a ghost, pale, heavy-coated, built for brutal winters. Fewer than 100 exist in the wild, and for a long time that number was under 40. Poaching, habitat loss, prey depletion, it hit them from every direction. But here's the rare good news story on this list. Conservation actually worked. Numbers crept upward. Protected zones held. The Amur leopard is still critically endangered, but it's fighting, and it's winning, slowly. Number 3, Javan rhinoceros, 60-odd animals, 1 national park. That is the entire existence of the Javan rhinoceros, the rarest rhino species on Earth. They live in Ujung Kulon National Park in Indonesia and nowhere else. If a disease hits that park, it's over. If the nearby Krakatau volcano erupts badly enough, it's over. Their entire species, balanced on the edge of one geography. They're almost never seen. Shy, solitary, hidden in dense jungle. Rangers protect them fiercely, but the margin for error is basically zero. Number 2, vaquita. The panda of the sea, and almost certainly the next animal to go extinct on this list. The vaquita is the world's smallest porpoise, barely 5 feet long, with dark rings around its eyes, like nature gave it a mask. It lives only in one corner of the Gulf of California, and it didn't even have a target on its back directly. It just kept drowning in nets set for an illegal fish trade. By some estimates, fewer than 10 remain. 10 in the entire ocean. Every expert who studies them prepares for the worst. Number 1, northern white rhinoceros. 2, there are 2 left, and both are female. Najin and Fatu live at Olpejeta Conservancy in Kenya, surrounded by armed guards around the clock. The last male, Sudan, died in 2018, and with him went any natural path to survival. Scientists are racing to create embryos using frozen genetic material. IVF for a species, an attempt to bring back something we already lost. The northern white rhino isn't endangered. It isn't critically endangered. It is, functionally, gone. What remains is a monument to how fast we can destroy something irreplaceable, and a question we haven't answered yet. Can we bring it back? Subscribe, and we'll find out together.